Hello beauties, welcome back to the Jolie Beauty channel. Today I'm coming at you with a fun, colourful look. Obviously inspired by spring and Easter and all that good stuff. I thought it'd be really fun to use some pastel colours today. I know some of you guys really struggle with those. So why not do a look where we use all the pastels, mainly using the Proud palette, but I did cheat a bit and take one shade out of the Sorceress. And this is the result. I really wanted to incorporate some of the trends at the moment. I've been seeing a lot of like graphic liner, so why not do a kind of graphic liner shadow using all pastel colours. I feel like this look would look good on any eye shape, and even if it looks quite technical at first, it's actually more simple than it looks. So if you want to know how to get this pastel eyeshadow look, then just keep on watching. For this look, I really want those colours to pop as much as possible. So to do that, I'm going to use the P. Louise base. This is in the shade 0, which is completely white. Because this is quite a graphic shape, what I like to do is map out with a liner brush where I want the shape to go. This just allows me to correct it if I make a mistake, and it also makes sure that I get the eyes as even as I possibly can. I'm going to take the angled fine liner from the Ethereal Pro brush set, and I'm just going to start drawing and mapping out the same kind of shape on my eye. And just don't get too worried if this doesn't go completely right. At this stage it's quite easy to correct it. With this kind of shape, I always compare it to a whale. You want a nice humpback and then a flick of the tail. And I'm just looking in the mirror, trying to compare the sides, trying to get them as even as possible. To be honest though, there's not many people that have perfectly symmetrical eyes, so just try your best. This bit is almost like sketching and drawing, because we're just mapping out that shape. When I think I've got it just about right, I'm then gonna draw a line connecting the bottom of my eye up to where I've created that wing. So looking at my two eyes, I feel like I've gone a little bit too high with the angle here. So I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and just correct it. And you can see just how easy that is to take off. And then I can go in with a little bit of the base again and just go a little bit flatter so that it matches the other side. So then when you are completely happy with that shape, it's time to fill it in with the rest of the base. For this, I'm going to swap brushes to a flat brush. It's just easier to get a little bit more precision with the brush and to pack the product on, because we want a really nice opaque white base so our pastels really pop. To pack the rest of the base on, I'm moving on to a flat carving brush out of the same set. And I'm getting that really covered in the base so we can get a nice opaque finish. So that base is looking pretty good. I'm going to keep this brush really close to me because as I'm working, the base might start to crease. So you want to pat out any creases before you put a powder on top. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the way it's looking. Today, for the pastels, I am going to be using mainly the Proud palette. But I am going to be cheating a little bit and using a purple out of the Sorceress palette, just because I want something a little bit more pastel lilac than the purple in this palette. So the base is starting to crease already, and I'm just gonna make sure I just keep patting it in so we don't set any of these creases. Once the eyeshadow goes on, it will set the base, so you won't have to worry about the creases then. So I'm starting off with the first colour, which is this pale yellow colour called Paul. And I'm packing that on one side of my brush and just really packing that onto the inner corner. And this colour just makes me so happy because it's just so sunshiny and lovely. And it's Easter weekend this weekend, so I'm just getting all those good vibes. It's actually going to be 22 degrees, I think, today. Sorry, my camera just died. I have just started going in with the shade Kelly, which is this light orange shade here. I think the camera died because I was talking about good weather in the UK, just couldn't take it. It's like, what? So I'm just packing on the shade Kelly next to that yellow and just blending them slightly into one another. And what you can do is just keep turning the brush around to go from one shade to another. and just keep feathering them together until you get a really nice blend. And I'm always looking to see what I've done on this side to try and match it. Sometimes that's not always totally possible, but I just try and do it as closely as I can. So I'm picking up a fresh brush with nothing on it, and then I'm going to go into my next two shades, which is going to be this pink Steven here at the Proud palette, and I'm going to be blending that into the shade Hocus at the Sorceress palette, which is this pale lavender colour. So starting with Steven, and I'm just popping that next to that orange Kelly. And when I put these three colours together, I suddenly get the urge for fruit pastels. Is it fruit pastel? No, fruit salad. Fruit salad, not fruit pastels. God, my niece would be so angry with me if I said that. Get it right, auntie. I always think as well, if you find the blending hard, the best thing to do is just to get the colours down in the right kind of area, and you can always go back in and do the blending afterwards. I'll show you how to do that. And just going in with the same brush again and taking that shade Hocus to pop next to the pink. Oh, it's just so springy and lovely. I'm just so happy with these colours. My husband and I have been like joking recently because obviously the UK is looking like it's going to open back up again for the most part. And we're having really lovely weather this week. But the closer we're getting to the lockdown lifting, well, next week it's saying it's going to be 5 degrees and snowing, so we're going to have all this amazing weather while we can't go anywhere, and then I guarantee as soon as like the 12th of April comes, it's just going to be relentless thunderstorms, rain, you name it. For the next shade, I'm taking the shade Lady Phil, and I'm just blending that into where I put down the purple. I love blending purple into blue, I think it's so pretty. And because this colour is slightly brighter as well, I think it just gives the whole look a little bit of a lift. Sometimes when you can use a lot of pastels, it can not have the intensity that you want it to. So I think this shade just being that little bit brighter just gives it that oomph. And I'm taking that almost to the edge of the wing, but I am just leaving a little bit of space so I can hit it with the next colour, which is the shade Caitlin, which is this green here. I never normally film in the daytime, but I am today, and I didn't realise just how bloody noisy the people in my house are. Shut up! Bless them. And this looks really like complex, like you have to be precise, but because the base is that tacky kind of sticky, I was going to say flavour.
Say what?
You know what I mean. Because the base is tacky, it actually grabs the eyeshadow, so you know it doesn't actually take that much work to get it to sit on where you've put this wing. So yeah, it's really easy. If you just tap it slightly, it will just stick to the base and it won't stick to your skin. So I'm looking forward, I'm pretty happy with the placement. It's like my pastel tie-dye dream, but I do think I could work on a little bit of blending. So what I like to do for this is take a really precise blending brush. This is the smallest blender from the Ethereal Pro, and it is such a good brush for getting these kind of details down. And where I can see there's a little bit of a harsh line, so I can see the orange to the pink isn't blending that well, I'll just take one of the colours on this brush and just nudge it together. And you can see how much that's just softened that blend. And this is just the easiest way of like correcting any mistakes. Because this is so loosely packed, do the blending, but it won't disturb anything. And it'll just soften those colours. And you can just see like how that's just made all the difference in the world to my blend. I think the blue's looking a bit harsh. I can just go in the blue and just keep on blending until I'm really happy with how it's all merging together. Because the base is set now as well, it does help you blend a bit more easily, because when it is sticky it can be a little bit temperamental to work with. So now you've got it all set, you can kind of play with how the colours are working together. So I think that's looking pretty poppin'. And now I'm going to move on to eyeliner. I don't know why I lost my track of thought there. I was just like, What am I doing again? Somebody needs another coffee. For eyeliner today, I thought I'd do something different. This is a pastel purple. What I've used is the shade Unicorn from our Air Matte Liquid Lipstick collection. And I'm just taking that shade on a angled brush. You could honestly use any shade that you'd like. I think just the purple is quite a fun contrast to all these colours. And it's a nice bright pastel, so it'll really complement this look. I know there's lots of like subtle looks in vogue at the moment, and I just can't wait to basically cover my face in a rainbow, to be honest. I've been, you know, we've had all year sitting around doing boring natural looks. I just think this year is the time to have a little bit of fun. So I'm just doing a average size line for this. I'm not taking it too thick. I don't want to cover up all those beautiful shadows that I've just done. Then I'm just going to take my eyelash curler, try not to disturb that liner while it's setting. I'm just curling my eyelashes a little bit. I'm adding a nice healthy coat of mascara. This is just the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. You could definitely add some false lashes if you wanted to. For me personally, I'm kind of digging this style of makeup just with quite a natural lash. And because obviously I've been using my Ridiculous serum, they're quite long anyway. So just be careful when you're doing your mascara that you wait for it to dry so it doesn't transfer into your colours, because that would be a hot mess to try and tidy up. And then I'm just going to add the same on the bottom, just a small coat. If you wanted to, you could add a pop of colour on your waterline or put some white in there to really make your eyes stand out. For today, I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm really loving this look with just the minimal on the lashes and the eyeliner. So I'm just going to finish my face and then I'll be back in a sec. So that is my fun spring Easter pastel look. I hope you guys really enjoyed learning some new techniques with me, learning how to use the pastels in the Proud palette. I absolutely adore this look. I'm getting so hyped for the warmer weather, the Easter bank holiday weekend. I hope you have a fabulous time no matter what you're doing this weekend. If you enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful, I'd really appreciate it if you just took the time to give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave me a comment on what you're doing this weekend in the comments down below. Also, if you have a friend that might enjoy the video, I'd love it if you could share me with them. But until next time, beauties, I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!